nobody just ups and moves like that without having some sort of like plan. I don't know. It's just I can't fathom it because it's something I would even have trouble doing, right?
Yeah, well, it did take a lot of planning beforehand. When I went to quit to make the decision, it took me a year of like planning out, okay, what's my runway here? Assuming this doesn't work out, and thank God I looked at it that way because it didn't, like I was expecting it to. I was like, I need to be able to support myself for 1 year on savings.
Okay.
And if I can't figure this thing out in a year, then maybe I'm meant to do something else.
So that's a big thing, right? And I stress this upon a lot whenever I'm talking to anybody and they're asking me like, "Hey, should I quit my job?" And I'm like, "Well, how long could you survive if you didn't close any deals?" And a lot of people don't think like that. Like they don't think they're like, "Oh, well, gung ho, I'm just gonna quit and I'm just gonna like have zero money in the bank account," and then they go out, doing even sub twos and stuff like that, and taking on even more debt and obligation, and then things have a few bad months, and it gets really stressful. And so I figured that you probably had something like that in place where you had a cash runway and you had enough to take care of. So if you have that cash runway, you can focus on the things that matter, right? When you're coming into Jacksonville, it's not as stressful. You're actually able to look at the vision, not think about where you're at right now and paying your bills. You're able to think about, okay, how am I going to use this money the most efficient way? And what is it um, that could ultimately, make me on the street, make me go live on the streets versus not. And so that's super amazing. I think everybody should listen to that and just regurgitate. If you're in the point where you're like, I'm going to quit my job or I'm going to do this, like, hey, if you're going to quit your job, make it a plan, right? Just like if you're going to hire a new employee, make it a plan. Wait a quarter, hold back funds, and then hire that new employee in the next quarter and make sure you have the funds allocated to do so. It's about building a business, right? And rather than just kind of like shotgunning your way through, the wild, wild west, right? So what was the ultimate factor of Jacksonville then after you seen those three? Was weather basically it, or
Yeah, so I was a little indecisive at the time because it's a big decision, to which city to go to, and ultimately it was like go there for a week, just
yeah?
go to Jacksonville for 1 week and just see if you like it. I'd never been there, and I had sent out a GMAS sort of email to a bunch of agents with a templated message that did like this mail merge based on deals they've done, just trying to get breakfast with people and like just meet them.
Okay.
And I ended up getting breakfast with this guy who also an ex banker, ex Citibank employee, and we just spent like 3 days touring around, looking at his flips, looking at his projects, and he actually turned out to be a really big JV partner of mine for flips. We're offering on large multifamily together now, and I just something clicked. The mindset changed. The abundance mentality kind of like took fruition. I'm like, I see the opportunity here. I see the value. I see, the different housing structures and that we can really succeed here. And I was sold after that. Came back, packed up my stuff. A month later, I was gone.
See, that's really crazy, man, because like, I mean, a lot of people have struggled to quit their job to begin with. You ended up quitting your job, and then um, you ended up actually being like, my business is failing, and you know what? Why not just move to a whole nother state I've never been to before, a city I've never been to, and try to start there when currently I don't have a job.